Alright, welcome back to the Dead Spatula Dungeons & Dragons online tutorial. Today we are covering more game mechanics. So, one big question I often hear is, is loot, is there any way to set the way loot is distributed? Loot that is dropped out of breakables, so crates, barrels, coffins, anything that breaks when you hit it, and loot can drop out of it. That loot is free for all. There's no way to change that. It's just whoever gets it, gets it. There are locations in these maps, collectible locations. I might point them out in a later video. There you can get what are known as collectibles. They're just little icons that you can turn in for piddly loot. It's just an extra little thing. Optional thing there. No XP awarded, but those things anyone can grab them. Occasionally they're limited, but normally just everyone in the group can grab them. Chests, however, you'll open this chest, and I'm not in a group so you don't see it as well, but see how it says reserved for Fairy de Gressa? That is everyone will have a reserve. You can actually change who it's you can give it to someone else. By switching this, and that's very key for bind on acquire items that you want to give to someone else. Specifically, like, there's a set of monk hand wraps the monk really wants. You can hand them to the monk rather than pick them up and have them bind to you, and all you can do is sell them. The apprentice, but everyone rolls for their own items. There's no way you can get someone else's items unless they give them to you. Very key factor. I said clickies I'd mention. One of the things I got, and just about in every class gets apparently, is a ring of water breathing. I equip it, I drag it down to my bar here, and now I have a once per day. I say that because it's one charge total and charges once per day and recharges one a day. So I have a once per day water breathing, which for 1 minute and 30 seconds, I can breathe water. Very useful. This is self-only despite the spell description. The water breathing spell is AoE, I think. No, it's not. It's single target in general. But this gives me some significant advantages. It makes it so characters with armor don't have to worry about it. Alright, game mechanic, search. Your search skill allows you to find things like, you saw the spot icon pop up and it shows you here. I'm spotting a hidden door. Your spot skill won't always be able to trigger this, especially if you aren't putting points in this, but it will occasionally. Good note, also look at your mini-map. If it continues, but there's a flat wall here, occasionally there is a hidden door. What you can do is search, and if your search is high enough and there is a hidden door there, boom, hidden door. And now you can open it. One key is that if your dungeon is multi-leveled, occasionally it will look like you have a hidden passage when you don't. So you can't always use that technique. Now, most quests have a quest reward at the end, or all of them will have an end quest reward. Occasionally, it's only once. Most quests, you can get it every time you complete the quest. Sometimes it's just money. Sometimes, like in this case, it's going to be a list of items. And in most cases, you just have to go back to the person who originally gave the quest to you. In this case, it's not that simple because I have in this case, because it's for the tutorial, it's in the quest, so don't leave the quest before you get it. Here's an interesting fact. So you can pick up an item. They give you a +1 fire weapon that's also masterwork. So it's effectively a +1 weapon, magic weapon, except it doesn't have the bonuses. It can't bypass damage resistance for magic, and its +1 damage is fire rather than just a general magic. Wizards get these wands and clerics can get it. Sorcerer, wizards, sorcerer, and cleric and favorite soul can get a wand. Monks can get a set of hand wraps that do acid. Here's the thing about these wands. See the UMD check required? UMD difficulty 15. I have to roll 15 or better. I have a use magic device of 2 right now, which gives me a better chance to activate it than standard. Actually, I think I have a higher, because I have an int. But I have a 35% chance to activate it when I make the roll. It's okay. It's useful, but really, it's doing the same thing as my Finger of Fire here. So I don't need it. But it can be useful. I just thought I'd point out what the UMD is. That means on a roll, I have a 35% chance that that roll will come up with something that I can use this wand and equip it. Here, I'm just going to get the Eternal Wand of Finger of Fire. Another game mechanic, though. Eternal Wand. Eternal Wands recharge. If it's not an Eternal Wand, it does not recharge. Another way you can tell, look down at the charges. 50 of 50 recharged per day, 50. If there is no recharge per day statement, not everything will recharge its full capacity per day, and if it does not have a recharge per day comment, it will not recharge. So be aware of that when you're buying stuff, when you're looting it, when you're like, oh, this is great. Unless it's an Eternal Wand, it will not recharge. I'm going to pick up that. You'll notice it said to me there, it's going to bind me. It warns you if something will bind, so you don't have to, you're not like, oh, was that bind on acquire? It will tell you if it's going to bind. I have enough time to explain this, so I'm going to go ahead and explain the XP report. This is the final. This is one of the biggest game mechanics that people don't that is nice. So you do not gain experience for killing monsters directly. Instead, what you do is you gain experience for your quest. This allows rogues to go ahead and gain experience despite not killing monsters. You gain various bonuses. Tells you your status, tells you your difficulty. Optional objectives, they give you experience beyond the base XP. Most of them are killing monsters. Occasionally it's like collecting items. There are penalties you can take. You can take penalties for re-entering the adventure multiple times. If you have to leave to get something and come back in, or you die and have to res and come back in, you can take penalties for re-entering. If you're too high a level, you will gain a penalty to your base experience. If you've completed this the quest for the first time, you gain a XP bonus on that difficulty. If you've completed it a ton of times, you get a penalty. If you up here ever get to minus 100%, you will never be able to gain any experience for the quest. Okay, I still have time. So monsters killed, you can gain a bonus if you kill enough monsters, if you disable enough traps, if you find enough doors, if you break enough items. All these things can give you bonuses. Persistence bonus, that gives you a bonus if you haven't re-entered. Flawless victory, bonus if you never died. And that comes to your total XP. So that gives you a good scene. When I cover some of the UI, I'll explain how in combat areas, wilderness areas, you can get experience for killing monsters. But generally, you're really not getting experience for killing monsters. You're getting experience for completing quests, and that is actually how it happens every time. They just have, and they will give you quests for completing monsters, and that's the only way you ever get a direct experience for killing monsters. Otherwise, it's all based off quests in any case. So thank you for that. I'll bring you a video about UI modification and getting the most out of your UI and what your UI means. And so keep an eye out for that. I'll see you next time.